Hello, welcome to The Wandering Drew. I am Drew. Thank you for joining me. Well, it's Thursday. I'm back home. T Squared and I drove yesterday from about 10 in the morning till about midnight. I got home a little after midnight. I went to drop him off so he could pick up his car and drive home. So worked out well. Wasn't really an eventful journey home, if not long, but uneventful, which is good. So I checked with him. He's doing a lot better. He feels much better now. He's hydrated. He's eaten, rested, and he's a little sore with his legs, but other than that, he's doing well. So I'm glad for that. If he was dehydrated, he's pretty much recovered from it now. So that's a good thing. Obviously, I didn't get to really test as much of my equipment as I would have liked on this trip, and I wish it would have gotten a little longer for me. But other than that, I still did get some valuable experience out of the training. First, I felt great on the trail. My legs, my body felt good. My calves hurt today, so obviously I need to work out more and probably get them in better conditioning for my upcoming hike in August. So I'm gonna hopefully continue doing my training regimen that I'm doing. I'll probably give up carrying the backpack with weight and walking in the street. I'll probably start doing that on a treadmill so that I can add an incline, because I think that's the most important thing and probably why my calves hurt. So they're the weak link to me in my chain, in the weak link in the musculature for hiking. So it's the only part of my body that's sore. So obviously to me that's the weakest part, or they're working harder than other parts, I don't know. But generally that to me means that I need to work them out more to build them up so that they can be stronger for the trail. So I'll continue doing running like I've been doing. I've been jogging. I'll continue carrying the weighted backpack, but I'll do it on an incline, which should get me in better shape to hit the trail that way. And I'm also considering going to do a workout with weights and doing traditional weight exercises, or maybe even some isometric or body weight exercises, which should help me get in better shape for the trail that is coming up. Just looking at my thing here, I kept forgetting to list the weights of my backpack when I started the trail. I started the trail, my backpack was 22.5 pounds. And when I ended the following day, it was 21.7. So basically 0.8 of a pound I ate up. Some of it was water as well, and a little bit of fuel, probably about 10 grams of fuel. So I don't really count that much. Most of it was all food. So I felt my weight was in a good spot. I was very happy. I wanted to get below 25 pounds. I'll discuss in a little bit some things I could have done to get lighter. And if I was doing it again today, that I would definitely take out of my pack and lighten up a little bit. Even with the gear I still had, there's always room for improvement. So one of my biggest regrets, and the thing that did help me drop some weight, but I regret not bringing it, was that gimbal, the OM5. I regret not having that. I really missed not having the ability to set up a tripod or the gimbal so I could take shots of me walking by on the trail. It was very, very hard without a tripod to set up a cell phone, which is what I was using, my cell phone. Some of the ground was wet or muddy. I didn't want to put it on the ground, and a lot of shots I was worried that it would tip over or fall. So I mean, it could have been done, but I feel a tripod or even the gimbal itself that stabilizes itself would have been a plus, and I think I should have brought it. I was worried about the weather that was predicted, because it was supposed to get very wet later in the week, and I was worried about that thing getting damaged or ruined because it's not waterproof at all, and I was afraid of water getting inside and shorting out the motors. But in hindsight, I think I should have brought it, and maybe just brought like a bag, which is what I've done on other trails, and just placed in the bag. So if I could do it again, I would actually take that with me. I regret not bringing it. Big fail, and something I was not happy with, was my water filter. My Sawyer Squeeze filter, I felt failed miserably on the trip, in the sense of I had a really hard time pushing water through it, and flow rate was just not there. I would really like to go back to the Be Free. I had made up my mind that if I got to Neal's Gap, I was going to buy a new water filter. Unfortunately, I didn't get there, so I didn't get a chance to do that. I've come home, I played with it a little bit, I put some hot water. I feel it's flowing a little better, but it's really not doing well. I don't know if they dry out. You know, maybe some of you could give me your experience, because I find out like every time I have a filter, and even my Be Free, I ran water through the Be Free, and it was even worse than the Sawyer right now. I couldn't get water to flow on it without squeezing real hard, and sometimes not at all, even though it was hot water and I was trying to, get those fibers slick. So I don't know, is it something I need to do, either replace my filter every time I'm going camping if it's been a while, or do I need to run water through that thing like maybe every week or so just to keep it working in good condition? So what are you guys doing, or are you having the same experience as me? Because I find it very disappointing that I have to buy a new filter almost every time I go camping, and that's pretty much what's happened every time so far, and to sacrifice flow rate, which is really unacceptable. I don't want to spend all day filtering. I want to be able to do, in a couple of minutes, get the water I need and get out of there. I would keep with the 2 bottles, or at least one, and maybe the filter with a bag, because I like having water that's not flavored to cook with or to drink if I want it, but yet I have the other one with my electrolytes in it, and I try not to cross them. So I'll probably continue to do that in the future. That CNOC bag also did not do well for me. I think a lot of that has to do with the filter, though. Squeezing that bag, I had to squeeze so tight to get it to push water through that I felt the seal was popping. The clip that was on it was actually popping off, and like twice during the trip, it actually spilled over, either got on me or it spilled the water on the floor, and I didn't get, half the bag got emptied out, and I had to either go back and get more or just deal with less water. Not an end of the world kind of thing, because I was usually still at the water source, but something I don't want to deal with. Just another thing that didn't work out good for me. The Tyvek cloth, I liked using it. It's extremely light. I think if it was windy or conditions weren't very good there, I would have had trouble putting that thing down because it is so light. It's waiting to fly like a kite. But I did like it, kept the bottom of my tent very clean, which is a plus for me. I may go back and try and buy a better sized Tyvek cloth, because that one is not the right size, and it's too short in one way and too long in the other. So I can cut it down to fit, but it doesn't cover the whole thing. So I'll take better measurements next time maybe, and pay more attention to the measurements, and I will look to replace that maybe with a larger Tyvek cloth that I can cut down to the proper size for my tent. My bag liner I brought with me. If I was to do this hike again today, if I was packing up now, I'd probably leave it home. I think it weighs about 8 ounces or so. I would have saved that weight. I used that to sleep in until about 2 o'clock, and then it got too cold, and I actually had to get my sleeping bag. I like to use it because it keeps the sleeping bag clean. It also, on hot weather, it's just enough to keep me warm, half the night. But in hindsight, I would probably leave that home, save the 8 ounces, and just use the sleeping bag. That sleeping bag that I brought, the Sea to Summit Trek 1, is several years old. I notice when I'm packing away now and I'm squeezing it, I'm getting more and more feathers starting to poke through. So it's probably getting a little, worn, and it might be time to consider replacing it. But in the meantime, I'll still use it. It's very good for warmer weather. I had no problem. When I got in it in the morning, I was sweating. So the temperature probably got into the mid-50s or so, thereabout. There was a little bit of breeze, but not a lot. So with that weather, though, it did a good job. So I will keep that one and continue to use it. But during the cold weather, I'll obviously bring my winter bag, my light and equipment bag. Other piece of equipment that's new on this trip, well, a couple of them I had. The PFG shirt, did like it, very comfortable. I didn't wear it the second day because it was a short hike, but I would have kept it. Another thing I would have done to lighten up was not bring those extra clothes. I would have just kept one pair of clothes and hike and sleep in the same gear if I really wanted to cut weight. I like having an extra set of clothes. You never know when you might need it. If you get really wet or something rips or tears, nice to have an extra set of clothes. I also figured I would change into it at night to sleep in, keep the bag clean, and also I have clean, dry clothes. If I wanted to conserve weight, that's the thing I would cut out. And in hindsight, I probably would have left the shirt home and just used the PFG shirt. I don't think I used the shorts at all, but I was only out there one night, so I didn't really use it. I just slept in my shorts that I hiked in because they were dry by the time I went into the tent to sleep. and it was not a factor. So I would do that. I could also leave the fleece home. It never got really that cold. Obviously, you don't know what you're going to get. But if I got chilly and I needed a jacket, I probably could have put my raincoat on to keep warm. So in hindsight, I would probably lose the fleece as well, and that would have put me easily down over a pound, just between those two things. I did not take my rain pants with me, but I left them home, actually. I didn't even pack them with me. But in hindsight, I probably should throw them in the bag, carry them in the car, and then looking at the forecast for the rest of the week, for the weekend, I wish I would have had it. I was thinking like, wow, it was a mistake to not bring them. But it didn't matter anyway, obviously. But if I would have been out over the weekend, rain pants might have been something I would have welcomed due to the fact that, it was so much rain predicted. Rain pants might have helped me keep a little bit drier. The shoes did okay. I just don't trust them because I know the fronts are coming apart. I'll probably look to replace them with a new pair of Ultra shoes because I like the Ultra, the wide foot box. They are much lighter and they're foam, they're soft compared to, I wear Salomons a lot. And Salomons, like I said, they just have that more solid feel. So they grip your foot a little better. And I love the quick lace system, which I wish more shoes had because I've never had the quick laces come undone or get loose on the trail or get caught on anything, where shoelaces I've had them come undone and I've had them get caught on a twig and actually almost trip me or bring me down. My new trekking poles, ultra lightweight to me compared to what I had before. They're probably close to almost half the weight. And I think they did a great job. And obviously that snake liked them as well. He was busy looking for a date. My watch, I don't know what was going on with it on the way up to Springer. I think it was a matter of not letting it acquire GPS because last time it was used in any training mode with the GPS, it was, several hundred miles away and it took more time to acquire its location. But it seemed to work once I left Springer going down, and about halfway down, it started showing me my speed and everything. It may be recording the speed, but if it's very low, like I know the Garmin that I had before, if it's a very low speed, it doesn't show anything. But obviously it knows your track, it's tracking it. So it knows the mileage that you did, and it can work it out. It just doesn't show a speed if you're moving like really slow sometimes. So I'll work on that. I'm gonna tweak it, see if I can change the settings a little bit. But the battery power was good. It probably used like 20% of its power for the day of hiking. So at that rate, I probably could easily get 3 to 4 days of hiking. It was a shorter day, but I would plan on easily. I could get at least 3 days probably out of a charge. But that's something I would probably charge every day. But I know that I'm not gonna have to charge the battery from zero like the Instinct I had before. After like 8-10 hours, it would shut off because it was so low. And I'll probably shut off the heart rate monitor. I don't think I need that. Like I said, I was watching my heart rate on the hike, and it didn't seem to really go, most of the time it was in the hundreds, 105. Sometimes it was even in the 90s. So, I wasn't really exerting myself. I think my training is paying off in those situations where I was climbing up a mountain. Obviously, they weren't very big climbs, but I don't think my heart rate really got high. Once or twice, it probably went into the 120s. But it means that, I've definitely gotten in better shape and my cardiovascular system has improved. So I'm going to continue to do that going on. Like I said, I'll probably continue hiking, but look to do an incline, which I think will help me even more and is more realistic for a hiking situation. That's it. I want to thank the hostel around the bend. Give me one of their stickers. Here it is. This is going to go on probably my Bear Vault. Gordon and Lisa that run it, you have an excellent hostel there. They were very, very accommodating and friendly. Enjoyed it. I mean, basically you're sitting in their living room with them. We were talking. We actually watched a movie with Gordon for a little while, just talking about different things. And on the drive back, found out a little bit about his story and how they ended up getting the hostel and getting it running. Both him and Lisa left their other jobs to start this. So they seem to have a very good model there, a passion to help the hikers. And I was really happy with what they did. I mean, obviously, when they told us they were shutting down and they wouldn't be there, I was really concerned that they were going to ask us to not park our vehicle there or tell us we couldn't park the vehicle there. They obviously told us they wouldn't be responsible for it, and I realized that. But I was glad that they gave us that option because we had planned on that. But I had made plans 3-4 months ago, long before they had decided that they were going to shut down. that week because it's just a slow season. They planned on going in July. They do, and they knew that, but they didn't know when I booked until very recently that they were going to shut down a week earlier. So I had a kind of tentative plan B just in case they said no. Once they told me about it, I mean, I came up with another plan that might have worked, but they were okay. So I appreciate them being so accommodating. Not to mention coming out last minute, like most shuttle drivers do, but able to pick us up the next morning, when we decided we needed to get a ride and get off the trail. So other than that, can't say enough about them. Really happy with the hostel and my stay there. It was clean. Like I said, everything was clean. Everything's fairly new. They've obviously put some money into that place, updating it and bringing it up to where it looks today. But has everything you need if you want to resupply gas, clean bathrooms, shower. You can get a box delivered there. If you're staying, they don't charge you for that. If you are just passing through but you want to pick up a box, I think it's a $5 fee. Same thing for a shower. If you're not staying, you want to take a shower, you can. They just charge you for it. Water was really hot and the flow rate was good. So I was very happy. I would gladly and without any reservations stay there. I don't mean reservations like that. I mean without any other reservations. I would stay there if I was in that area again. And I would look forward to going there. If I'm ever hiking in that area again, I will actually book with them again. So they have another customer, a repeat customer in me in the future, hopefully. That's really it. I have nothing else that I can think of right now. I'm sure I'm leaving stuff out. Spent most of the day today. I'm washing my clothes, unpacking stuff. The only thing I haven't really done is do my tent, set my tent up. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Everything else I did, I spent a little time working with those water filters, trying to get them to work without much success. So that's it. If you like what I'm doing, feel free to leave a comment below. Any thoughts, comments, opinions? I'd like to hear everyone else's experience really with the water filters. Am I doing something wrong? Is there something I should be doing? Or am I missing something? The other thing is, if you like what I'm doing, leave a thumbs up. And if you like what I'm doing, you like the channel, you like the videos, and you feel like it, please consider subscribing. That's all I've got. But as usual, I want to thank you for a lot of the comments I've gotten, the well wishes for the hike. Obviously, it turned out the way it did. A plan is exactly that. You have to be flexible when you're out on the trail, and things don't always turn out as me, but they turn out the way they're meant to be. So that's good. The mountains aren't going anywhere. Like I said, I'll be back, and the mountains will still be there. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I do appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch these videos. Till we meet again.